Hey everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to Shonen Slap, and I hope you're ready to get a good fistful, slapful, great old big punch of a what if today. Because we're here today with what if Tanjiro had sound breathing. Make sure you like and sub, show support. Let me know I'm at 2% better than a failure. 1% if you only do one of those things. I guess I'll just fail otherwise though. Now everyone, welcome to what if Tengen Uzui raised Tanjiro, which if somehow you don't know, if you don't keep up to date with Demon Slayer, that's the sound Hashira. Tanjiro's family is attacked a lot sooner in the story. That's just to give a bit more background and context for all this what if. Tengen, who happens to be out, runs into them and saves Tanjiro right before he's attacked. Luckily for both of them, moves on, realizing it's both a Hashira and it's just about to be dawn, decides that he doesn't want to deal with it. Uzui, seeing the boy, doesn't want to take him in, but knows that the master will bug him about it if he doesn't. Uzui decides that young Tanjiro, who now currently is 6, instead of what it's like in the canon timeline, is going to have to become a demon slayer if he's going to become an Naruto's wing. Unfortunately, this time around, Nezuko doesn't survive, as Uzui isn't as merciful as Giyu. Uzui puts Tanjiro through training from a very young age. From things he learned back when he was a ninja, swordsmanship, and how to use his breathing correctly. Tanjiro, throughout the years, stops to adopt more of Tengen's flashiness on top of his kind soul. Tanjiro goes through great mental struggle, however. No matter how powerful the abilities of a shonen main character are, he kinda just watched his family get mercilessly slaughtered at a very young age, and the mental scarring is deep. He will do anything to protect his new family and the people that he enjoys and loves. Picking up at a much more appropriate age to start this Demon Slayer story, Tanjiro, now 15, is fairly beyond his counterpart. Able to use total concentration breathing to a certain extent, with a great variety of other skills learned from Uzui, Tanjiro enters the final selection and easily stomps the demons, in a flashy way, of course, ending the whole thing by killing some demon with too many hands in a single blow. Uzui, as the god of festivals does, holds a flashy miniature celebration for Tanjiro for finally entering the Slayer Corps officially. He hands him a specially made weapon, a twin sickle and chain, technically known as a Kusarigama. I hope I pronounced that right. But that name's a bit too long and would fall on deaf ears if I just keep using it. So I'm just going to call it just like twin sickles or twin sickle and chain. And they have a long night in the entertainment district, of course, celebrating Tanjiro and wishing him luck for his future battles. Tanjiro, now clad in the uniform of the Demon Slayer Corps, would end up doing plenty of missions with Uzui at the beginning, but as time would go on, as a month or so passed, he would go to slay demons on his own, with mastery over sound breathing only rivaled by the other user, Tengen. He could dispatch demons fairly easily. With his Nichiren sickles at his side, he heads out for his first assignment, a town to the northwest where girls have been vanishing every single night. There, Tanjiro meets Kazumi, haggard and worried about his girlfriend that has just recently been abducted. Though he catches the scent of a demon nearby, Tanjiro can't see any. But Tanjiro is incredibly confident that a demon is behind this incident. Kazumi takes him to the area where she disappeared, just an alley in the town, where he claims no one believes him. No one believes that his girlfriend just disappeared, and Tanjiro responds that he believes him, and that he realizes that this area contains the faint scent of a demon. Kazumi remembers that when he told Satoko's parents, her father had beaten him severely for blaming her disappearance on simply vanishing, to the anguish of Satoko's mother. At night, Tanjiro stalks out, waiting for the demon to come for another victim. Remembering Uzui's lessons about demon abilities, Tanjiro realized that this one is probably capable of a blood demon art and has been using it to hide himself. With the girl in his arms, he asked the demon about the whereabouts of the missing girl. The demon, however, only grinds his teeth in response and returns to his swampy portal. Kazumi appears alongside and wonders, asking what he saw. Tanjiro tells him to take the girl now. With Kazumi vulnerable, Tanjiro stands out in front of him and looks at the area. He noticed that even while the demon submerged, it can't mask its scent. And then, using this, he detects the likely location where the demon is to emerge, and he uses that to strike. But now, being shocked as he swings, sees 3 demons. He leaps backwards in the air to avoid their attacks and uses sound breathing, 5th form, string performance, retaliation. For future reference, by the way, I'm going to be having Tanjiro kind of invent forms that I've not seen in the anime or manga to kind of spice up the what if, because unfortunately sound breathing isn't given a whole lot of abilities, but I think it has a lot of potential, especially because a lot of it's just kind of combined with a lot of special ninja style abilities. So I think it'd be really fun to invent some new ones for Tanjiro based off it, and later also with application of sun breathing, which you'll, start to remember. Cutting off one of the demon's heads, he's quickly pulled down into the swamp, however. But even with his movement restricted, he just swings his sickles faster, quickly unleashing sound breathing, 2nd form, chain illumination, to decapitate the other 2 demons and make a flashy getaway. After pulling himself out of the swamp, though, Tanjiro walks to Kazumi and asks if he's alright. Kazumi retorts that he can't, with the knowledge that his fiancée is dead, and tells him to keep living no matter how many people he's lost. Angered, Kazumi grabs his shirt and asks him if someone his age can know about losing someone. Tanjiro, though annoyed, gently grabs his hand to release his grip, and he offers him Sotoko's hairpin in the hopes of finding someone in her before departing. As Kazumi tears up, seeing what's the only remain of his beloved Sotoko, he looks at Tanjiro and realizes that boy probably has gone through something similar. Apologizing mentally to him for their harsh words, he waves goodbye, looking now at his hand, and is shocked to seeing that it's rough looking, and he realizes because of the relentless training. As Tanjiro now walks through the town, he is hit with the reality that there are more like him that have suffered at the hands of demons. He realizes that even though most people won't go through the same traumatic experience at the same level of losing an entire family, every relative watching it, that doesn't mean that demons aren't committing the same atrocities around the world. As he walks through the town, he deems Muzan the cause, declaring that he will never be forgiven as long as he lives. Tanjiro is suddenly met by his Kasugai Crow and given the details of his next mission, however, in the district of Asakusa in Tokyo. He is shocked to learn that he must have already have to travel again after just finishing his mission. He heads off, deciding to finish the mission flashily and return to Uzui as soon as possible. Upon reaching Asakusa, Tanjiro stares at the bright lights as they remind him of the celebrations with Tengen. Eventually, he reaches the outskirts and stops at an udon shop. As an exhausted Tanjiro then orders a bowl from the shopkeeper. After receiving his bowl, he prepares to eat it, but suddenly detects a scent. In shock, he gets up and drops his meal. Tanjiro begins to panic and looks outside the city, taking his weapon with him. As he runs to the source, he wonders why it disappeared so abruptly in the city. He reaches a busy street with heavy foot traffic, but can make it to the source, as he believes it might be Muzan. He sees the man giving off the scent. Grabbing his shoulder, the man turns around and reveals his red, cat-like eyes. Realizing it is Muzan himself, Tanjiro prepares to draw his sword, but he hears the voice of a little girl and sees a child in Muzan's arms. Disturbed to witness him feigning to live as a human, Tanjiro freezes in horror momentarily. Muzan calmly asks the boy if he can assist him, and is met by his wife, who asks what the hoopla is all about. Tanjiro becomes sickened by the woman and the child's inability to perceive that Muzan is a demon. His wife asked him if he had met Tanjiro before, but Muzan declines it, saying that he has likely mistaken him for someone else. Muzan silently, however, displays his claws and slices a passerby in the neck so fast that no one but Tanjiro could see it. The man feels pain, but as the cut suddenly becomes to change, his teeth become fangs and his eyes become dark red. Tanjiro attempts to rush in and stop him, but the newly transformed demon bites into a nearby person's shoulder, terrifying the surrounding crowd as Muzan silently watches. Tanjiro, knowing that he can't kill him in a public space, quickly incapacitates the man, fast enough that the motion wasn't even caught by most people. The police quickly take the man away, but Tanjiro is already poisoned the demon, so he will die soon anyways. Walking away from the scene, Muzan sends his family away in a taxi, claiming that he has a business meeting to attend. He intends to talk to the police about this disturbance, brushing aside his wife's concern about the situation. Now, with the wife and daughter out of the picture, Muzan enters an alleyway to walk through. However, while doing so, he bumps into a drunkard and their friends. He apologizes, but the drunkard soon aggressively assaults him and insults him about the idea that he looks like he's dying. Not even a second passes, and his head is brutally smashed into the wall, shattering his skull. After witnessing the first one die, the other two are quickly dispatched as well, hurling blood and splattering. Truly brutal scene, as they're all bludgeoned and killed. Too scared to even utter a single word, the last woman stays quiet as Muzan menacingly questions if she thinks his pale complexion looks unwell to her. He asks if he looks frail and abnormal as he's about to die. He retorts that he's instead a living being close to perfection in Sensek's claw. Quickly piercing the woman's skull, he floods her body with an enormous amount of blood. The woman transforms into a demon-like creature, but the blood is too much. Her cells quickly dissolve from the excessive amount of blood, causing her to melt into a senseless mess of flesh and blood that burns away into ash. Muzan quickly calls two demons to his side and ordering them to bring him Tanjiro's head, describing as an overly flamboyant-looking demon slayer with two sickles at his side. They immediately comply and leave him to do as he wishes. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of What If Tanjiro Had Sound Breathing. Stick around as part 2 will be coming out later this week. Make sure you like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. And leave me a comment if there's any other what ifs you want to see or any suggestions for this one. Peace.